Everybody, is Antoine Jameson. I played in the NBA for 16 years. I had numerous amount of massage therapists throughout my career, but hands down, Toya is the best massage therapist I ever came across. She works not only with myself, but my kids as well. If you want the best massage around, no matter where you're hurting at, she's gonna find a way to get you back out there and get you back to 100%. That's my testimony for my girl Toya. I appreciate it.
All right, so I'm here with the bomb queen, celebrity massage therapist, Miss Latoya Hill. Miss Hill, tell people who you are and how you came into this profession, becoming Latoya Hill, the celebrity massage therapist.
I am Latoya Hill. I began massaging, I graduated from massage school in October 2018. My whole mission was to never work for anyone. So I went to a couple chiropractor offices, did a couple like independent contracting work. I really didn't like that atmosphere. It was very stressful and it wasn't something I wanted to do. So I still felt like I was working for somebody. So I just got on this app called Thumbtack and advertised my services. Back then they allowed massage, now they don't, but that's kind of how I built my clientele. That's how I got my first celebrity client, which was Lil Baby, the rapper. And I also got another rapper named Bad Bunny. And then it just kind of built from there. And then later on, I decided I want to transition to sports massage because of my pressure being so deep. A lot of people say I'm great at deep tissue. So I took like a bunch of classes to learn more about sports massage and the proper technique for doing it. I didn't like none of the classes I took, but I gained something from it. I'm known as the massage nerd because I have so many books on massage and the body and kinesiology, how the body moves, how the body works, how the body functions. And so I kind of gained up all that knowledge just to figure out what is best for these people. So once I finally got like my first pro athlete client who was just so supportive of me, and I was like excited that, this guy plays professional football. He was really happy about my massage, and he started telling other people. How I met him was actually through a guy I prepped for his pro day while he was in college, and then he hadn't gotten drafted into the league yet, but even after his draft, his whole family are still clients. And when he comes back to the Charlotte area, he hits me up and he gets his massages. And I have one more person that I prep for pro day that still works with me when he comes back home. But a lot of the other ones that kind of like drifted away, they moved away, or, they found other therapists that's in the areas where they play sports at. So in the past 2 years, I would say I have worked with about 40 professional athletes at this point.
Wow.
Yes.
Congratulations. That's a big deal. So what do you think was so unique? Was it because you got them heavy hands, girl? What was so unique about you that made you so stand out that everybody's coming to you?
From what I hear, it's mostly like my personality. I'm very relatable. A lot of these guys are younger than me, so I have to kind of like be relatable to them. So I crack jokes, I talk junk with them, and it makes them feel comfortable on the table too, especially if I'm applying too much pressure or something like that. I kind of joke them like, oh, you a big man and you can't handle, this little work from a woman, and, just stuff like that. And I always play the part of like, I'm this old lady, so y'all can't be beating me up and hurting me and all this stuff. So then they look at me like I'm crazy, like, ma'am, you're hurting us. So it's pretty much my personality. Some of them tell me like they really love how I ask them how to help them instead of telling them, oh, this is what you need and I'm going to do this regardless of what you want. I'm very in tune to them being in tune to their own body. So a lot of them know what they need because they can feel it and they just have the point, or if they know the terms to use or whatever, they'll let me know. And then I try to work closely with their trainers or their PTs or whoever they're working with to get body work to get them back on the field as quick as possible. Gaining that trust in them is a big thing because being a female massage therapist working with a lot of guys, you come across that situation where they have wives, they have girlfriends, and like you don't want to overstep your boundaries in that situation. So Every home that I go into, I'm always friendly. I'm always welcoming. I'm always willing to, massage the wife or the kids, even if dogs get massages. So,
Right.
so I make it a family thing. I get comfortable being around family, and being in this industry is kind of tough because, they switch around a lot. So if they move to another team, sometimes they have to pack up and leave and move to where that team is to be close, because they have to be close to their family. So it's just the trust, the personality, and my knowledge on the body and my passion for what I do.
So massage therapy and sports training, which is two different components. So how do you combine the two to make it one system?
So I know what I know for massage related things. And then I was going to go back to school for physical therapy, but I really didn't want to do all that schooling. So I ordered these kinesiology books, and I've been studying a lot of kinesiology on my own. I have been studying different things such as lymphatic drainage, because athletes get injuries all the time and they build fluid and inflammation. So I have to make sure that I know how to properly recover an injury. So lymphatic drainage is a big part of that. I learned something called microcurrent therapy. So when they do get injured and they have to get surgery and they have scar tissue, microcurrent therapy, it helps reduce the appearance of the scar, and it also reduces the scar tissue that forms underneath, and it also promotes lymphatic drainage as well. Cupping, I just love cupping. Everybody loves cupping. So I learned 5 different techniques of cupping. So I have my cupping machine where I can do, regular cupping, but it's kind of like for beginners, so I can control the intensity of the cup. And then I have cellulite cupping for not necessarily athletes, but for other people, like a lot of women that are getting, they're trying to lose weight in certain areas or whatever. It kind of helps to break up the cellulite in the area and dissolve through the body. And then I do electronic cupping that has an infrared light in it that helps reduce inflammation, and it does the whole cupping process for me. Once it finished, I just have to drain the area through manual lymphatic drainage. I do stable cupping, which is the hard plastic cups that are stable to the body, and it allows me to get some rotation to remove adhesions from the body and to help people get more flexible and get more range of motion in a joint area. And then I do the silicone cupping, which is the soft cups that allows me to move and glide across the body to kind of help loosen up those adhesions through kind of like a massage technique, but it's using a cup to pull the muscle in the opposite direction. So opposed to me doing like deep tissue pressure into it. So those are probably like the biggest things when it comes to sports massage and confidence. Like, you have to really know what you're doing. You have to research what you're doing. If you don't know something about a particular injury, you have to research it. You have to find somebody who is willing to let you practice on them, get on them, practice, see how it works. If it's an area like a knee or something like that where you can practice on yourself, then that's the best. So then you'll know how it feels. But yeah, just pretty much knowing that. And then a lot of times I watch games just to see, like, okay, this is how he moves, so this is why he twisted his ankle, so that helps me recover that. Or I go to gyms, I just pop up at some of the gyms, whatever, and I can watch them train and see what they're doing while they're training, just so I know like why they're injured or why they're hurting or why they're having issues with this specific area, and kind of keep track of them. So I stalk their Instagram pages sometimes so that I can just see, like what they're doing, and that'll give me a good idea of what I need to do for them when I see them next. And then a lot of people, they just tell me like, hey, you just know what you're doing. I've had tons and tons of massages, but it's like when I come to you, you're just like so amazing. And a lot of people think like I have this note or this paper or training people on what to say in these video reviews that they give. I'm like, no, I just tell them like, hey, give your honest opinion of how you feel about my massages, and that's what they say.
Obviously, you are, girl. Like, you put me in like your situation, and I'm not saying it's the same situation, but the movie Just Right, where she had to go in and train.
Yes.
I guess his last name was Wright too, but
Yes.
the different techniques on how to train a knee injury and
Yes.
X, Y, and Z. So what is your most difficult injury that you had to go in and retrain and then you got success from it?
I think the shoulder, because there are so many different ways you can injure your shoulder, and there's so many components that make up the shoulder. So if someone has an injury in their shoulder, it could be coming from a tight neck muscle. So you got to know how to release the neck muscle. The rotator cuff, a lot of people think the rotator cuff is on the front, or, and it's really not. It's 4 muscles that sit on the back of the shoulder girdle, and those muscles are not the easiest to treat because there's one that you got to go through the armpit to get to, and a lot of people are uncomfortable or that place doesn't get touched. And I am one of those people that I'm going to touch it. If it's bothering you, I'm going in on it. And so learning the range of motion of the shoulder, how those specific muscles move. So like what they do in relation to lifting the arm, lowering the arm, bringing the arm forward, bringing the arm backwards. Just knowing all of that, how it's connected, because you have the pec muscles that connect in the front, you have your rotator cuff muscles, you have your arm muscles, your deltoids, you have your neck muscle, you have your traps, you have your back muscles, you have all the stuff that connects together to make up this shoulder and how it moves. So you really have to know all those muscles, and it's a lot of moving parts that comes with moving a shoulder, and people don't realize that you could be struggling to raise your arm, but it had nothing to do with your shoulder. It could come from your lats or your serratus. So it's just different thing. Knowing the muscles is a big part of being a massage therapist, but knowing how to move the muscle and where the muscle inserts and where it originates and how it functions as how you extend it or stretch it or how you flex it when you contract it. So you have to know all of those. It's a hair kind of crossing over into physical therapy, but doing like resistant stretching and all of that, but that's what helps get them stronger. And if I'm right here and I know how to do it, then why not?
Why not? Okay. So with the lower back, because you can injure that just as easily just by twisting. You, like Cat Williams say, you got injured by getting out of bed. So what do you recommend for that?
Yeah, so the lower back is one of the easiest things to fix, but it is most common because so many people are in one position for so many hours. I have people tell me that they have sat in a chair for 8 hours straight, working, haven't taken a break, haven't gotten to use the restroom, eat, or anything. So the whole thing about that, all you have to do is simply get up and stretch. Like every 2 hours would be ideal for you to stand up and stretch and move around. But the purpose is you have to bring your back the opposite direction. So if you're sitting forward all day, you have to do a yoga pose called the cobra, where you are arching your back so that you are releasing those lower back muscles and giving them a break so they're not constantly working as much as you want to work.
Right, period. Okay, so you offer a wide array of benefits. Tell us about the acronym that comes with those benefits called MUSCLE.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I completely forgot about this. But yeah, so I'm probably gonna have to look that up because I don't have it memorized.
That's okay.
But yes, this is something that me and my publicist came up with just to determine like something that people deal with every day, which is the muscles. Right. And let me see. Lord, we send so many messages.
Interestingly, I was saying healing hands, but that's not healing with the E. I bet you said she misspelled my company name. It's a brand, girl. So healing, so that's part of your name with the healing hands, correct?
Correct. So my last name is Hill, and I just use that as like, the family name Hill and Hands. And that's kind of like what I went with when it came to creating my brand. So I thank my grandmother for getting married and changing her last name to Hill because that's how I acquired it.
Okay. Thank you, Grandma.
Yes.
And while you're looking for that, next question is, launching in 2018 ahead of the 2020 pandemic, like you got your foot in the door, but how did you fare from that point? Like you came in hot, like you were massaging Lil Baby, like all types of artists coming in the door. So how did you fare once the pandemic hit?
So in the beginning, it didn't, nobody was just like, oh, we know what to do or how to conquer this. So we're just like, work as usual. But then it got real once the state of North Carolina, the massage board was just like, no, shut everything down. You cannot touch anybody. You can't go into no one's houses. So it was a real thing. Like they even put fines on it. Like they caught anybody massaging, and they were going to charge them like I think it was $6,000, $5,000 or $6,000.
The devil is a liar.
Yeah. So I took that time to just chill, and that's kind of when I fell in love with learning more about the body. So I bought all these books and I started reading up on those, and then I came across this guy that played basketball overseas, and he had a meniscus injury. So we got kind of close, and I started using him to practice like sports massage on because he had a sports injury. So that was perfect timing to learn that stuff while we're chilling. So I used that opportunity to learn more about the knee and how working the quad of the knee is what is going to actually help fix your knee, really, to give you strength, because the quadricep tendon and the quads, if they're weak, it's going to really cause pain to your knee. So you really have to know how to rehab that, how to build that, and so on. So I say they shut us down probably the end of March 2020, and then we were literally shut down for a full 2 months, April, May, and then I started back working June 1st. At this time, I had hired 3 people to work for me. And so it was kind of difficult managing that. And then I was working at a chiropractor office as well. So I had a lot of moving parts back then too. And then once the pandemic broke, it's like business was booming. Business jumped up so much. Like from June to September of that particular year, like we were so busy back and forth with the stuff on Thumbtack that I was doing. I was meeting new people. I was doing a bunch of networking events. So I was finding different people, networking and doing all of that. And it kind of helped grow my business, and a lot of people that were getting into health and wellness. And I'm going to call it a trend, because people see other people doing something, then they'll start doing it. So when I say that, I'm talking about like reality TV, when you see like these superstars on TV and they are doing something, like when the V-steaming first became popular, you've seen it on TV, and now that's become a thing. So the health and wellness drive right now with massage therapy, because so many massage therapists are advertising certain things, but they don't necessarily have the technique or skill to execute the stuff that they are advertising. So I wanted to make sure that when someone came to me, I could be like, oh yeah, I do that, or no, I do that. For the longest time, I would not do prenatal massage. Like I just would not.
So you do it now?
I do it now because so many of my clients decided to have babies during the pandemic. So I got all these little people now that, I have to see every time I go to the houses. And I've gotten so attached to kids, animals, families and things like that. So it kind of brought people together, because I was doing more mobile, and during the pandemic, it just brought people together. People were coming up with all types of things to do in the house. So it was someone that reached out to me from Virginia that was coming to Charlotte, to the Lake Norman area in Sherrills Ford. And they were like, we're coming, we got this little lake house, and we really want you to come and do the massages. We seen that you do I was doing a chair massage class. So I had literally 6 chairs that I would take to people's houses and teach them how to give each other massages. And so they booked 3 different services from me. So they booked the part where they learned how to do the massages. Then they booked for me to actually do the chair massage. So I had one of my employees come with me to help me. So it's 2 of us doing chair massages. Then the host booked a couples massage for themselves, a 90-minute session. So wow. Yes, it was 3 different services. And I was just like, wow, where did y'all find me? And they were like, oh, we were on Google. And I was like, thank you, Google.
Yes, those doggone Google reviews are like, I didn't realize people read my reviews like that until I started leaving like different reviews at restaurants. And then I'll go in and see 15,000 views and, 10,000 views. So you're definitely being watched. Like, yes, so whether that's positive or negative, yes, that's a blessing.
Yes. And I have had the negativity that I've heard. So, hey. It
comes with the territory. You could be the best in the world, but somebody's gonna always find a complaint. That's just life. So
Correct.
my next question, Taraji P. Henson is launching this mental health pod on the HBCU campuses. Did you hear anything about that?
I have not, no.
Okay, so they're going to have massage therapists, they're going to have yoga, just different things so that our people of color can go and let their hair down, just go and have that mental health day. So
Right.
would you want to take part in something like that?
I definitely would, because one of my pro athletes, one of my day one guys, he is actually opening a yoga studio, and he already has a mental health foundation called Dream the Impossible that I am heavily involved with. So it's kind of like a thing to involve like mental health, yoga, massage, and all of that together. So hearing that just, I mean, it puts a smile on my face because it's something that I've already been involved in, and I know how important it is and how people that are stressed out, people are dealing with anxiety, people are dealing with depression. And it's a lot of people that come into my office, they get on that table and their intentions are, you know, just to relax, and they just want to get a massage. And next thing you know, like, I know their whole life story, why they're mad at their mother-in-laws, why they kicked the boyfriend out the house. And, you know, it's just a whole bunch of dumping that goes on in that session. And so I hear it all, I deal with it all, I see it all, but the goal of that is to build trust with the client, keep everything completely confidential, and just let them know that they're in a safe space, because you know, getting a massage sometimes has that effect where you have this emotional release where you feel like, I'm so relaxed right now, let me just get all of this off my chest so that I can be completely relaxed and stress-free for however long this is going to last.
So do you take all clientele, or, you know, some people you have to turn away?
I have had to turn away a few people. My specialty is sports massage, so athletes is what my niche is. So I'm always going to take them on, but anybody else outside of that, I do preach about, you know, most people's body goes through the same thing as an athlete. You may not be running into somebody else during the day, but if you're a mom and you have multiple children, and say you have stair-step children like 3, 2, and 1 or something like that, and they all want to be on you at the same time, that's a lot on your body.
Right.
Pregnancy, that's a lot on your body. People that are in the gym working out, it's very important that they know about recovery and stretching and that nature, because you can easily injure yourself in a gym. Especially if you're not with a trainer and you're just going to the Y, just playing around the gym, not knowing what you're doing, like that is just mental to your body. People that drive, like truck drivers, people that are doing Uber and Postmates, like they need the same type of work that an athlete would need.
Right.
I see all types of people. I would say the only people that I have had to turn away were elderly people that aren't able to physically get on the table by themselves, or they need a certain thing that I haven't been trained in, and that's called a geriatric massage. I have some clients now. I'm gonna brag about this 77. She's 78 now, and she literally probably a year ago just stopped teaching Zumba. And she is still out here playing pickleball. And when I tell you she's fussing at me, Latoya, you gotta fix my back. She's like, I'm not trying to get old. I'm not trying to get old. And I look at her and I'm just like, wow, I just want to be like that when I get 70.
Right. Functional.
Yes, but the fragile community that's in the geriatric community, I try not to, because I'm so used to my pressure and what I do, because that's my go-to, that I forget. And so like if I'm working on someone that's very fragile, it's easy for me to just transition into like a deeper pressure or start stretching them or something like that. And I don't feel comfortable with myself or massaging, you know, the older community. But that's pretty much all that I have turned away. I used to turn prenatal away. I used to refer off to all kinds of people, but I just take them now since I have the training for it. That's not something that I highly want to do, but I will do it especially for households that I've been working with for a long time. They're used to me and they don't want to go to anybody else. So that's the real reason why I decided to get prenatal certified, because that's something that they're going to ask and they're going to want. And I've tried it before using other therapists and haven't got the best feedback from it. So I just want to keep everybody happy and, just do that. So no, I don't turn anybody away now, even with children. Like, I massage 5-year-olds now. Like,
so they can feel like kings and princesses.
Right.
Now, and that's the good thing is, like you said, you do sports massages. So that means you do runners too. Right. And that's because that's what I'm into now, running, or I'm trying to get into it. And I have definitely had my fair share of injuries from running. So what techniques could you suggest, or what would you do if I came in and laid in on your table and I'm like, my glute on fire, fix it? Okay.
Yes, stretching is number one, because the glute is like, it's the middle part of your body, your glute and your lower back. So they're definitely going to go hand in hand. That glute tightens up, and your lower back's going to tighten up, your hamstring's going to tighten up. So you're really going to have to stretch those out, get on that foam roller, a little lacrosse ball, whatever you can do to get up in that glute and kind of like rub it out to free it and loosen it up. I tell women all the time, like, they have the easiest thing when it comes to releasing your glute muscle, because men love touching glutes. Like, all you gotta do is say, "Hun, my glute is hurting so bad. Like, can you just do like a little choppy thing?" Like, you gotta use that to your advantage.
Period. I'm single, so I ain't even get ready to hit nobody up talking about hit. Okay, come and rub my glute.
It don't take much. So you can find somebody handsome on the street and be like, "Oh my God, my glute is so sore." They are so easy. Men are so easy.
You get a glute. You get a glute. You get a glute.
Yes. That means they're the happiest people in the world.
Period.
Until it's over, and then they looking like, "So what next?"
You can go.
Appreciate you, sir. Thank you for your service. Yes. But also, runners have to be mindful of hydration. So everybody thinks water is hydration. It is, but you have to get those electrolytes. You have to get those nutrients. You have to get those minerals. So for that, I'm new to this, but I recommend IV hydration to help you get all of those vitamins and minerals you need. I used to recommend sea moss, but people were taking in too much sea moss. So a tablespoon a day of sea moss is literally all you're supposed to take, because sea moss has such a high level of iodine in it, and that could really get you sick. And a lot of people are like, "Dr. Sebi said this. Well, did you read it? Like, did you study it? Did you do your research? Because then you would know, like, this is why you shouldn't take it. You could literally overdose on it. And then you got to know where the sea moss is coming from. So who did you buy it from? Where are they getting that from? Because if you got it off the coast of Florida somewhere, I would not eat that."
And you eat salt, okay?
You were eating regular seaweed, not sea moss.
Listen, here's the coolest thing about you. You are very educated. Like, you know your stuff. You don't take, if somebody posts it, you're not going to take what they post. You're going to go in and research it. And I can tell that not just by the sea moss. You said Dr. Sebi. People call him Dr. Sabai, and they have for years. But you know a lot about massages and everything that's functional within those muscle groups. I find that that's the closest you're going to have to an MD, and I find that very fascinating about you, that you didn't just decide, okay, I'm going to create this business, and if I learn just enough, I'm going to get clients. No, you took the time out to research what you know, you went to school for it, and here you are now. So with that being said, I know you have a location. Are you mobile as well?
Yes.
Okay. So can you tell people about your location? Are you the sole operator, or you have workers? Like, what you got going on, girl?
Yes. So I was mobile from December 2018 when I first got licensed until October of last year. I was 100% mobile. October, I decided to go into an office space because I wanted to I'm getting older, and I know people are like, oh, you're so young. Well, no, your body ages when you damage it, and you're putting a lot of, stress on your body. So to slow down the aging process, I got an office. And at first I was a little nervous because I'm like, nobody's gonna come into this office. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to advertise for it. I'm like, they're so used to me coming to their house. It's so convenient. But a lot of people, I'll say November, December was a little rough. December, more people were open to it. A lot of people were finding me on Google in that area. And then January was a little slow. The end of February and March just blew up out of nowhere, like out of nowhere. And I also hired a PR. So he's been posting and helping me out as far as getting me a social media presence. And he has been like talking to people, maneuvering, doing all of these things. So I'm just like, yo, that is like the greatest thing ever for me to do to get my business out there. Cause I'm like, I know so many people, but I don't know how to leverage the people that I know. And so once I got into the office space, I was still doing mobile a lot, and I was just tired by the end of the day. So once March hit, it's like more people were hip to it. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna offer packages, I'm gonna offer memberships, I'm gonna do all of this. And now I'm seeing like, okay, I'm by myself doing all of this. I'm tired at the end of the day. I got a kid at home. Like, I really need some help. So last time I hired people, they were already massage therapists. They've been massage therapists longer than I had. So I had to kind of transition. So this time I am putting together a real hiring system. So my accountant is on board with this. We're going to figure out how we're going to do payroll. I'm coming up with the contracts and the non-competes. And my whole goal is to go to my massage school and start fresh with people that are just coming out. They're eager to learn, and I want to train them on my level of customer service. I want to train them on techniques that they can incorporate into what they're already doing to make it better. And I also want to teach them on professionalism when dealing with professional athletes, because there's a way to fall off of the professional ladder when you are dealing with professional athletes. And so, it's just so many things. And I want to teach, I want more massage therapists to come together as a community, because I struggle with befriending other massage therapists and collaborating with them. And I never understood why. So I want to get my hands on a group of new people that are excited to come into this industry. And I want them to work together. I want them to be a village, because it takes a village to make the dream work. So it's like, I want y'all to help each other, collaborate. If you can't get this client that day, send them to this person, or y'all go in hand, and, feed off of it that way. Because there's too many people out here trying to compete as it is, and you're not getting nowhere like that. It is millions of people in this area.
That's right. Well, it seems like you are young enough, but you know better. So now that you're older, you know better. So when you know better, you do better. So you learn from your mistakes,
right, and
improvising. And as far as your brand manager goes, or your publicist, he's the best in the business, hands down. So you're going to definitely get your money's worth out of him, okay?
Yes.
Maximize your leverage and what you already have, just to make it even brighter. So do you have any upcoming events? Like, what's new for you?
Right now I don't have any upcoming events. I've done pretty much most of the events that I'm going to do. Last night we did the Spring Colors event, and it was actually really well. I massaged the DJ, so I already let him know, hey, I'm coming behind the DJ booth and getting a picture, taking your job for one night. And then I used to be an assistant to a promoter, so a lot of the promoters that were there I already knew from prior when I used to help out with CIAA. I did a corporate wellness event for QC Kinetics last week. Prior to that, the town of Harrisburg had me come out for their wellness event. So a lot of people are getting hip to, these corporate wellness programs and things like that. And I absolutely love that, because contracts is where all the big money is. So
it is.
I'm looking to do more of.
Well, it's not, you're no stranger to hard work, so we'll say that. So thank you so much for your time, girl. I'm gonna get this hamstring worked out when I do come and see you, because I was like, bruh, this thing be firing up. Like, it ain't coming down. It ain't coming down. But
right. And I can only imagine. That's why I'm doing those tips and tricks on my Instagram page now. A lot of people ask me questions when they're on my massage table, so I've taken that opportunity to go on Instagram and just give like some little tips on what you can do at home to fix things like that, and when to use heat, when to use cold, things of that people don't normally think about.
You're right, we don't. We're like, oh, we don't want to limp in front of this camera. Please, Lord.
Yes. Yes. Definitely.
Do you have a website?
Yes, it is hillnhands.com, HILLN hands.com.
Okay, awesome sauce. So thank you so much for your time. I appreciate
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Have a good Friday.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.